Look at blockchain technology and its impact on supply chains today. Let me open up the windows because you can see what's going on. Why are we doing this? Well, as we know, blockchain technology can be used in supply chains to provide transparency, traceability. It can help consumers understand the supply chain of an organization effectively. And it can engage with the brand because it knows where everything comes from. Blockchain can also lead to better traceability, which enables better operational efficiency through mapping and visualization of enterprise supply chains. What's not to love there? Some examples to give you an idea. Diamond supply chain transparency is a thing. Where does the diamond actually come from? The supply chain transparency there. It can boost drug safety because the drug transparency is there built in the blockchain. Where it comes from, hails from, ensuring saleable drug returns. It can provide tracking info to consumers, and delivering fresher fruit will help with that as well. That's an example I found. Another example is it can ensure slave-free chocolate, which would be good because you can trace it all the way back to the origins, and that's basically with everything that has child slave labor involved. You can trace it back to its origins. Keeping meat cold is another one, simply. So blockchain has many benefits for the supply chain and logistics. And the problem is that we don't see a lot of it in real life yet. Why is that? Let's have a look at blockchain technology and its impact on supply chains. We open this up. What we see here is everything that's related to blockchain in supply chains. Everything basically that you need to take care of and make sure that you're doing. So let me quickly go over them, not all of them, but have an idea of them. So those are the blue greenish balls. They are the areas that you need to look into when you're dealing with blockchain technology in supply chains. For instance, security, obviously, just starting out here. Need to have a privacy program, data privacy and security. Is there a data management plan? What's your data transparency? Archival storage process, crisis emergency management platforms, etc. It goes on and on and on. You can actually see what's going on here. There's lots of cloud going on here, lots of data related areas, lots of service related areas that you need to take care of and focus on. GDPR in here and privacy, just something that catches my eye. So these balls are actually the areas that you need to focus on. Now, what I want to do now is to explain to you what's in this model so you can understand what we're looking at. If I click on one of those areas, planning cost, for instance, it has two here. Data repository has one. Click on planning cost, zoom in so you can actually read what's going on here. And trust me, we'll come to the answer to the question, why haven't you seen it a lot yet, and what can we do about it? Planning cost. These are questions that you need to be asking when you're dealing with planning cost. Is cost transparency data used to assess business impact of change? Is cost transparency data used to plan operational impact of project portfolio when you're planning for uh, blockchain technology in supply chains? Now, when I open this up, you get to see more, and I'm opening this up so you have an understanding of what's going on with all the colors. The green balls actually give you ideas to solutions to the questions that are being proposed here that you need to be doing to make sure you're doing planning costs in relationship to blockchain technology right. So have the appropriate systems in place to ensure transparency. Agree it is time for the administration to have that same kind of transparency. Have an inventory of all the information, create additional decision makers and users at different levels of the supply chain transparency, and use data analytics or artificial intelligence in your supply chain transparency. Now, again, when I click on one of those balls, we get to see something more. We get to see the dark blue balls. The dark blue balls actually show us that these are the people that are in charge or need to be engaged, to say the least, in these areas. So data NLP here needs to be engaged. And if I talk to my data NLP here, I can actually ask him or her other questions related to blockchain and other areas that we need to engage in when we're doing this. So here you have it. You have an idea of how this is all organized and how it's all connected. The beauty of this is it works like your brain. I don't know how your brain works, but my brain works with bubbles, with thought bubbles. When I think about something, it pops up and starts to connect with other things. These are nodes. These are areas that are covered to each and every other area, and it shows you the connection. And it's organized in prioritization. The most prioritized questions pop up at the top to start out with, and I'll show you that as well. Two more small things, the red balls and the yellow balls. The red ball is a keyword that's related to the action that you need to take, and the yellow ball is a keyword related to the question that you need to take. So, for instance, if I need to see more questions about transparency, fingers crossed that there are more, and there are a few more, then more questions related to transparency will actually pop up that I can focus into and I can really drill down like this. So there you have it. Now you have an idea of what the colors of the balls mean. Again, this is the main topic, blockchain technology and its impact on supply chains. Then we have all these blue-green balls around it. These are all the areas that you need to be focusing on. When I focus on one area, I can open it up. I can have the blue balls, the light blue balls. They will show me the questions that I need to be asking around that area. And the ideas to fix those questions are here in the green balls. And then there are people that are in charge or need to be consulted about the area. Those are the dark blue balls, and the yellow and red ones are the keywords. You see here a little gray one as well. That's a priority number. So all the questions are organized in priority, and they're prioritized. So that'll be really helpful as well. Now, to do that, I can ask it what is the most important question to ask in relationship to blockchain technology and its impact on supply chains. Well, let's have a look now. Do it once, not twice. How's that? There we go. Here we go. And now we're getting somewhere. Is personal data privacy and personal data protection part of the compliance review process when we're starting to look into blockchain technology? Open it up, and we actually can see what's going on here. Have the resources to support your logistics with a cloud-based computing supply chain made. Protect privacy and protection of the blockchain technology applications. Enhance business network performance in the logistic industry. Provide privacy in your data system. Have a data protection and regulation of accumulation and temporary data. Favoring a volatile market for downside protection, interesting. Create a complete taxonomy and formalization of computational location and privacy data. Assess the risk presented by your external third parties to privacy. Um, you can see a theme developing here, and the theme is privacy. And the privacy theme is basically the main reason why blockchain related efforts in the supply chain haven't been rolled out everywhere, everything and all at once. Uh, to uh, to quote an Oscar-winning film. It's the same with if I look at more areas and I dive into those, and we'll show you them later on how to connect them all and how to get started, how to really get to what's important here. Privacy is the main thing when you need to deal with blockchain for the first time. You get into privacy areas and ask the right questions related to privacy. Because blockchain, you need to involve a lot of people in your organization to get it done. It's not just a technical issue. These are the job roles actually, the dark blue balls that are related to blockchain in supply chains. So here we have research analyst, data loss prevention specialist, data protection analyst, director risk compliance. So a lot of risk, compliance, data, privacy, those are the areas that we're worried about as a company. Those are the areas that we're concerned about. Where does our data end up? Where does our client data end up? Where does our vendor data end up? And how do we make sure it's protected, that data? Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer. I'll pan over them so you have an idea of what kind of job roles there are in relationship to blockchain and supply chains. And you might recognize some of the job roles that are in here. You might recognize your own job role. Who knows? All right, so this gives you an idea, but like I said, this works the same way as the other ones. So if I click on this one, you get to see what's the action that this person is mainly responsible for. Have an incident response plan in case there is a breach. Open it up, and we get to see the question: does your organization have a data breach mitigation budget? It's related to case, which is a bit of a lame word here. I would do breach. But does your organization have a data breach mitigation budget? There we go. And these are the areas that you can then focus on, the green balls here, to make sure that you do that. So it all links back and it's all connected like this. So now you have an idea of the roles that are involved there. But there are so many ideas, so many things that you need to take care of when you're dealing with blockchain in supply chains. These are all the green balls that will pop up on your screen, at least 1,000 of them. There's more. So these are all the activities that you need to be taken care of in your organization when you're dealing with blockchain in supply chains. Yeah, review with employees, your company ownership, make blockchain tech-based applications, have the greatest benefit of successful actions, have a solid management system for encryption. There we go. Encryption, I like it. Let's have a click. Let's have a click, see what comes up. Encryption, related to encryption, obviously. Does security of the data require encryption, or is it privacy related? To see if there's more in encryption. More balls pop up. Yeah, there's more. There pop up more balls. Trust the blockchain if it's used for performance management system, in place for data protection if it's there. Decide on the right situation to add blockchain. So do you actually need the blockchain and for what specifically? We can all think of a use case, but then the technicality of the whole thing related to privacy and security, that's a whole different ball game, and that's definitely what this focuses on strongly. These are all real life cases, by the way, real life advice, real life questions, real life job roles. So if you want a case study, this is the whole enchilada basically on how to implement blockchain in supply chains and making sure you're doing it right. So now we know there's a lot of job roles. There's also a lot of activities that you need to be doing. Now let's just focus on the top 3 questions, because I told you before they're all prioritized. Enter. The top 3 questions that you need to be focusing on in your organization when you're starting out with blockchain in supply chains. Is personal data privacy and personal data protection part of the compliance review process? Open it up and we can see the actions that I can be doing here. We've seen this one, we've opened this one before already. This is the number 1. The number 2 is data the biggest problem for blockchain as I'll zoom it in a bit because you probably can't see it. Is data the biggest problem for blockchain as interoperability is difficult when data organization strategies are different? So it all starts with data, clean data, the right data, encrypted data, preferably, and a whole bunch of data privacy regulations above on top of it. So you can have a look at standards. ISO 27701 is a standard for data privacy, for instance. So you can have a look at. But it goes further. There's a lot of regulation out there that actually concerns data privacy. GDPR in Europe, and if you followed me, you know that I've done a presentation the other day on the AI Act in Europe that is being passed into law. So there's a lot of material happening around there, a lot of legislation happening around this area. The third question is down here. Does your organization know where your data is accessed and when? Okay. And we see here have the right to play and can the opportunity be accessed, evaluate the economical potential of a blockchain, have a sufficient overview of the readiness of your business plan and carry out the output. Can it be readily understood and is it accessible? Recover from this on your blockchain. Can you recover from anything on your blockchain? Have a clear plan for how support and services will be accessed. These are all the areas that you need to be focusing on when you're dealing with a blockchain in supply chain. And if I open this up, all the areas, I get to see all the people that are related and involved, all the job roles. So let's do that. So we have a complete overview right now of the main things that I need to engage my organization in, to have a frank discussion on, okay, blockchain sounds like a great idea for our organization, and it can definitely bring us cost benefits and customer benefits and benefits in the market, basically. But how do we take care of that? Well, start here. That's what I would do. Start with asking these 3 questions in your organization and have a look at the green balls, at the activities, if they are in place in your organization, or you can actually manage them in your organization. And then dive deeper into the job roles, the dark blue balls. Do we have these job roles? Do we have these people that take care of all these activities in my organization? and dive deeper into, if you really want to dive deeper again, in the red balls and the yellow balls, which actually dive into more questions around a certain area and more potential ideas around a certain area. So, for instance, let's pick one. We have privacy here. Let's see if we have more around privacy. There, more questions around privacy. A whole stack of them. Let me zoom over them so you have an idea. So a whole lot of questions about privacy. So that's my main message for today: is blockchain and supply chains. Blockchain itself is a technology that's not too hard to organize, to fix, to set up. The hardest thing about it is taking care of the data, its privacy, encryption, and making sure that you don't run afoul of any regulations now and specifically in the future. And that's the hardest part. So that's where I see that blockchain in supply chains has major benefits. But there are some obstacles, major obstacles right now, specifically in privacy and regulation to overcome, to make sure it's doing the right thing there in the end. So, what I would like to do now, before I leave you here, is in the end, I'll always end up with something that you can take home, that you can use and hang on the wall, print out, or just using your screen. I'm loading the complete data set that's underneath it right here, right now, and it'll build in a few seconds. There it is. There's the cloud starts there. And what you see here is everything, all the data that's in here in this blockchain technology and its impact on supply chains data set. So you see here the main topic, there we go, blockchain technology and its impact on supply chains. See here the topics that you need to be focusing on, worrying about in your organization, the topics, all those, and the questions related to them, the blue balls. You see the blue balls, those are the questions related to them. The green balls are the activities that you can undertake. The red balls are if you want to go deeper into if you want to find more questions related to an activity. And the dark blue balls are the job roles that you need to have in place in your organization that can take care of your rollout and manage your rollout of blockchain technology in your organization. Now, the beauty of this is I'm going to export it as a vector image. My screen there. I'm going to export this as a vector image, SVG. Blockchain, block, oh, type it right, chain technology, supply chain, impact. Yeah. A vector image, if you don't know what a vector image is, it's an image that you can actually zoom in. It's like a big poster on your screen, so you can do exactly the same as what I'm doing here. You can zoom in. You can zoom into every little detail in that image. You can't click and things will open up like we do here because that's the knowledge graph software that I'm running here. But you can definitely read what's in each and every one of these balls. So if you'd like some of this, if you'd like that image and play around with it and show around in your organization, contact me. You can find me on LinkedIn, pretty straightforward, on email, DMs. I'm available anywhere. Contact me and I'll send you the SVG, the vector image right away. I hope it was useful for you. I had a ball. I enjoyed doing this, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.